Hello everybody, welcome to Geldwen Field in Portland, Oregon. I'm Arlo White and this is your recap on SoundersFC.com. Well, this is one of the most famous victories in the recent history of Sounders FC. A 3-2 victory over their arch rivals, the Portland Timbers, in the second Major League Soccer I-5 derby. It was an afternoon full of tension, full of drama, and in the end, Seattle win by the odd goal in 5. Amazing to think that this game was level at 0-0 at half-time, and Fredy Montero with 2 goals and Ozzy Alonso keeping his nerves of steel from the penalty spot late on to clinch the game for Seattle, in which they trailed twice to the home side. So an afternoon of drama. Let's get to the highlights, starting with the lineups here at Geldwen Field. Starting with the Seattle Sounders then, unchanged for Seattle this afternoon. Fredy Montero continues up front with Roger Levesque. Levesque so hated by the Portland fans for scoring so many goals against them at various levels of competition over the last few years. Mauro Rosales, a key figure on the right-hand side. Ozzy Alonso having a great season. He was the holding midfielder ahead of Hurtado and Park in central defence. What about Portland then? They actually went with a 4-3-3 this afternoon. Marceline, the Haitian, was the holding midfielder. Kenny Cooper not involved. Palazzo alone up front with Al Hassan and Nagbe either side of him. A sun-drenched afternoon at Geldwen Field. What a contrast to the first game at Century Link Field back in May. The Sounders resplendent in their electricity uniforms. And this was an afternoon of high drama in Portland, in a fabulous setting. Early on then in the match, a wonderful free kick by Fredy Montero, curled it around the wall. Troy Perkins down to his left-hand side, saving by the post. Let's take a look at the replay and the amount of curl that Montero gets on it. It was perhaps going wide. Perkins wasn't sure, but that was a portent of things to come later in the game from Fredy Montero. Seattle started well. They took the sting out of Portland's tails early in the piece. This was a good run forward by Eric Freeberg. Look for the ball inside the fullback here. Alvaro Fernandez, chance of the first half, and Perkins out well to spread himself to snuff out the danger. Alvaro Fernandez, who scored in the first match at Century Link Field to open the scoring in this MLS derby, just took it a little bit too far, and Perkins able to come out and smother the danger. So 0-0 at half-time. First minute of the second half. Away go Portland down the right-hand side. Marceline into Al Hassan. Al Hassan will take it into the penalty area, crosses it to the near post, and Palazzo was there. Eventually, the goal was credited as an own goal to Jeff Park. So the Sounders' long streak of shutout soccer on the road was ended at around 329 minutes. Good play by Al Hassan, and in the end, the last touch came off Jeff Park at Casey Keller's near post, and Palazzo was denied his 4th goal of the season. So a mountain to climb for Seattle. Portland on top. 7 minutes later, low ball comes in, and Palazzo inches away from making it 2. What a cross that was, and Palazzo wasn't far away from that at all. You can see in the top of your screen there a few seconds ago, John Kennedy Hurtado lying on the ground. Another knee injury for him. We await the prognosis for John Kennedy. He had to leave the field substituted. But back came Seattle. A foul on Fredy Montero by Marceline as Montero was winding up to shoot. Yellow card for Marceline, and look at this from Fredy Montero. We saw it from the other side of the penalty area at Toronto. This one to the near post. Fantastic. Absolutely perfect. Troy Perkins, that was the only spot that he could have been beaten down low just by the post. Montero got a yellow card for whipping his shirt off. But that's his 4th goal of the season, and another one from a direct free kick. So 1-1, Sounders back in it, and the better side at the moment. Forward they come again. Montero clean through, out comes Perkins to smother the danger again. Montero looking extremely dangerous at this stage of the match, and Perkins is having a very good game for the Portland Timbers. Level, poised, going into the final half an hour. Montero with a new haircut. It's working. This was good play by Montero around the penalty area. One touch by Freeberg. That's what he does so well. Montero past Brunner, and Perkins doing very well to smother the danger. He would still have his moment though, Montero, but not before the Portland Timbers had gone ahead again. I thought that was handball by Chara, not given by the referee. And away goes Palazza into the penalty area, assessing his options, decides to shoot, deflection off Tyson Wall, and it wrong foots Casey Keller, and it's into the back of the net. We've had 3 goals so far. They've all come off Seattle Sounders players. Palazza was awarded this goal, so 4th of the season for the Colombian striker Jorge Palazza. Bad look for Tyson Wall. Look at this. He just outstretches his leg, tries to deflect the ball. He does so, but unfortunately for him, it's inside the near post over Casey Keller and into the back of the net. So the Sounders behind for the second time with it all to do. Here's James Riley with a deep cross. 74th minute, the substitute, Lamar Nagel. This was great from Nagel, but watch this from Rosales. Wonderful right foot ball into the 6-yard box, and Montero is there again for his 2nd goal of the match, and we're level at 2-2. This was a wonderful move. The cross was deep from Riley. It was well retrieved by Nagel. Cross to the far post, and that's the moment. Lovely ball in from Rosales on the volley, right-footed, and Montero in a wonderful goal scorer's position inside the 6-yard box. A poacher, that's what you want from Fredy Montero. And it's 2-2. 7 minutes later, Alonso over the top, Nagel's clean through, and Brunner is all over him. It's a foul, it's a penalty, says Gonzalez, and it's a red card for Brunner for denying Lamar Nagel a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Brunner knows it. He's off, so suddenly, what an opportunity for Seattle against 10 men with a penalty kick. Lovely ball over the top by Alonso, and Brunner is all over Lamar Nagel. He can have no complaints about that, even though he got the ball first. His feet were high. Here's Alonso, slots it in beautifully down to the left-hand side of Troy Perkins. He was given the penalty responsibility ahead of Fredy Montero, who'd missed at LA on Monday, and that is fabulous. A 3rd goal of the season for Ozzy Alonso to cap another fine performance from him, and suddenly the Sounders are 3-2 up. And we've had 5 goals in 37 minutes in this one. Sal Zizzo, plenty of time for Portland to get back into it. Chip to the far post, volley by Al Hassan. He never got over it, and it goes into the Timbers army behind the goal. The Sounders playing out time here. This would be 8 matches unbeaten, a club record if they could see it through. Zizzo with a decent cross. He fared well after coming on for Darlington Nagbe. Al Hassan with the opportunity. Got right underneath it, side-footed it into the crowd, and he knows he should have done better. 87th minute. The Sounders could have made it 4 here. Montero, that was a high ball, but he had the wherewithal to play it out to Rosales. Rosales knows exactly where Fredy Montero is here. Into the box. Montero free header. Saved by Perkins. Montero thinks it's going to spin into the net, but it didn't. And Montero, with his head in his hands, that was his last piece of action. He was substituted straight away after. Look at this for a chance for the hat-trick. Into the ground. And you've got to say that's a magnificent save by Troy Perkins at the 2nd attempt, as well as the ball was spinning towards the goal. So Montero didn't get his hat-trick. He's still the hero, and this is the big moment. The final whistle. Jorge Gonzalez blows it, and it's all over. 3-2 victory for the Seattle Sounders over the Portland Timbers. The Sounders unbeaten in 8 games. Portland having won in 7. Nice handshake between those 2 coaches. 3-2 the final score. So a wonderful afternoon for the Seattle Sounders and for the 500+ travelling fans who made so much noise. I'm sure their trip back up the I-5 was a very pleasurable one back to the city of Seattle. Worth noting, and I'm sure you noticed during the highlights, that the Sounders were wearing their electricity kits today, but also black armbands, and that was in honour of Mark Peterson, who sadly died at the age of just 51 this week. Peterson scored the last goal for the Seattle Sounders in this very stadium in 1982 to beat the Portland Timbers 1-0 in the final game here between the sides in the old NASL. So fitting that the Sounders come away with a 3-2 victory over the Portland Timbers in honour of Mark Peterson. So a fabulous afternoon for the Seattle Sounders. 3-2 victors, unbeaten in 8. We go on many different competitions over the next few weeks, starting with the LA Galaxy at home at Starfire Wednesday night in the quarterfinals of the US Open Cup. Then it's the Colorado Rapids and the return perhaps of Brian Mullen to CenturyLink Field next Saturday. A matinee performance once again for your Seattle Sounders FC. Second in the Western Conference, above FC Dallas by a point, behind the LA Galaxy by 4. These are heady times for the Seattle Sounders FC. That was your recap on SoundersFC.com. I'm Arlo White, and I'll speak to you soon.